안녕하세요. In this video, I will explain the second conversation of lesson 1 titled 한국 사람이에요. 한국 사람이에요. There are three key sentences. Those are used when you create new friends in class. What is your name? 이름이 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요? Second expression is, are you Korean? 한국 사람이에요? 한국 사람이에요? The last one is, no, I'm not Korean. 아니요, 한국 사람 아니에요. 아니요, 한국 사람 아니에요. Then let's study this expression in a dialogue. Then let's put this into Korean. Hello, 안녕하세요. Then I'm Michael Jung. We'll say 저는 마이클 정이에요. We have studied this expression in a previous lesson, right? In this sentence, 는 is subject marker, especially when you introduce a topic. We usually put this subject marker 은 or 는, and after this vowel, we usually use 는, not 은, right? So 저는 마이클 정이에요. 이에요 is also we have studied in previous lesson. After the consonant, we put 이에요, right? 이에요 comes from 이다 to be verb, and then sentence ending suffix, which is polite style, right? So we have 이에요. So in a sentence, 저는 마이클 정이에요. I'm Michael Jung. The next one, what's your name? In Korean, we'll say 이름이 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요, right? When you put this question in Korean, then we don't change the sentence order at all. So just like subject, your name, and then what is. Just like the other statement, we put verb at the end. So we say 이름이 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요? So once again, 예요, we have studied in previous lesson, right? So after the vowel, we have 예요. After the consonant, 예요. So what's your name in Korean? 이름이 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요? What is 뭐, right? And then 예요. And I'm Sophia Wang. 저는 소피아 왕이에요. Sometimes we can omit this subject part because from the context we can guess that what is the subject. So we usually delete that. And then I'm glad to meet you. We'll say 반갑습니다. 반갑습니다. And then are you Korean? We'll say 소피아 씨는 한국 사람이에요. Then you may have a question. Here's you, right? Then why you put Sophia 씨 instead of you? Well, one thing is that in Korean, we do not use you that often because you sounds really straightforward, or just feeling like we point our finger to the listener. So it sounds really straightforward or sounds rude. So we avoid using you. So we use other way. For example, we can call the other person's title or name instead. So in this sentence, we just put the name of the listener rather than you. Okay, so we say 소피아 씨는 한국 사람이에요? Then the answer is no, I'm not Korean. Then we'll say 아니요, 한국 사람 아니에요. 아니요, 한국 사람 아니에요. I'm Chinese. 중국 사람이에요. 중국 사람이에요. And then, oh really? 아, 그래요? I'm Korean. 저는 한국 사람이에요. 아, 그래요? 저는 한국 사람이에요. Okay, then let's more focus on the grammar. The first one is yes, no question. When you make a yes/no question in Korean, then you find it really easy because there's no sentence order change at all. We just use the same sentence, but only difference between the statement and the question is the intonation. When you say Yumi is a freshman, then we'll say 유미는 1학년이에요 with the following intonation. 유미는 1학년이에요. And when you ask a question, is Yumi freshman? Then we'll say 유미는 1학년이에요. 유미는 1학년이에요 with a rising intonation. So it's quite easy, right? And when you're answering the yes, no question, then we'll say yes, 네, or 예. Or no means 아니요 or 아니에요, right? So let's put this into sentence. Is Yumi a freshman? 유미는 1학년이에요. The answer, yes, she is a freshman. We'll say 네, 유미는 1학년이에요. We can delete the subject part here. 네, 1학년이에요. When you say no, she's not a freshman, then we'll say 아니요. 유미는 1학년이 아니에요. Of course, we can omit the subject part as well. 아니요. 1학년이 아니에요. So yes means 네 or 예. No means 아니요 or 아니에요, right? And then let's more focus on the sentence ending here. 1학년이 아니에요, which means it's not a freshman. So 아니에요 is 안, which is not, plus 이에요, sentence ending to be verb, right? So 아니에요. Just make it smoother. 아니에요. So this new sounds move on to the next syllable. So 아니에요. So she's not a freshman. 1학년이 아니에요. And the second grammar is 이 or 가. This is kind of marker, but as usual, after the consonant, we need this 응 sound as a cushion. So after the consonant, we use 이. After vowel, we use 가. Then what is 이 or 가? A function in a sentence. Basically, they have two different functions. The first one is subject marker. If you have a question like a sentence like this, Yumi is a freshman, then when you put this into Korean, as always, try to put subject first, right? Yumi, go back to the end of sentence and come to this way. Then 유미 1학년 and then 이다. So you put every word into Korean like this, and then we have to put tag or marker right after this. So Yumi is subject, right? So we put subject tag right after that. And then ida, that is sentence ending part, right? So we put sentence ending depending on the context or the relationship between the listener and speaker. We have a lot of different variation, but usually when it is a formal context, we use this polite sentence ending 어요 or 아요. So in this case, 요, polite style, 이에요. So 유미가 1학년이에요. And then 이 and then 가 can also be used as subject complement marker. For example, Yumi is not a freshman. Then once again, when you put this into Korean, this one comes first, right? And then you can go back to the sentence ending and put in this order, Yumi here, and then freshman, 1학년, 안, and then 이다. So we have this basic word in Korean, then we have to put some sentence ending marker and also subject marker and then subject complement marker depending on the function of each word in a sentence. So Yumi, that is subject, right? So we put subject marker right after that. And then 1학년 is subject complement, right? So we put subject complement, 이 or 가. After this consonant, we need 이, not 가. So 1학년이, and then 아니에요. Make it smoother. 아니에요. Okay. Then next one. N1 is not N2. For example, Yumi is not a freshman. Then when you put this into Korean, once again, Yumi, and then freshman, and then 안이다. Yumi, 1학년, 안이다. That is the basic word for each word, right? And then we try to put here subject tag and subject complement tag and then sentence ending. So we say 유미는 1학년이 아니에요. And then next one, Michael is not a singer. Singer means 가수, 가수 in Korean. So Michael, 가수, 아니다. Then let's put that in correct form in a sentence. This is subject, right? So we just put subject marker, and then 가수, subject complement, 가. In this case, 수 ends with vowel, so we put 가, not 이, right? And then 아니에요, 아니에요. Then now let's wrap up this lesson by putting the whole conversation into Korean. Okay? Then hello. 안녕하세요. I'm Michael Jung. 저는 마이클 정이에요. What's your name? 이름이 뭐예요? 이름이 뭐예요? I'm Sophia Wang. 저는 소피아 왕이에요. 저는 소피아 왕이에요. Glad to meet you. 반갑습니다. 반갑습니다. Are you Korean? 한국 사람이에요? Or 소피아 씨는 한국 사람이에요? 아니요. 한국 사람 아니에요. 아니요. 한국 사람 아니에요. I'm Chinese. 저는 중국 사람이에요. 저는 중국 사람이에요. Oh, really? 아, 그래요? I'm Korean. 저는 한국 사람이에요. 아, 그래요? 저는 한국 사람이에요. Okay, and that's it for this lesson. 감사합니다. 안녕히 계세요. Bye bye.